Cool. So, anybody?
It's a well thought out all this one.
I'll start off. Obviously, it'll probably get answered tomorrow in tomorrow morning's call. But obviously, I thought the benefit of pre-enrollment was that there's going to be no membership fee. From what I understand, it is that if someone doesn't order product within the first 60 days, they get sort of taken out of your downline and have to re-enroll. But also, when the products launch, that's when the membership fee has to be paid. So other than getting into the downline early, there's no real benefits for people enrolling. No other benefits, should I say, for people enrolling now rather than when it launches.
Yeah, you have.
Is that right?
Yeah. Did you say there's a 60-day period after launch?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. The other benefit is there's also international sponsorship, which obviously for a vast majority of you guys particular, that'll come in free as well, which is $49 Australian. So, 25 quid, I guess, or something like that. So that's grouped together with the other.
Yeah.
But from the product perspective, it's beneficial because they also be able to have first dibs at the products that come out. There's a chance that they won't be able to support a huge impact. So it's just it's guaranteeing that because they're pre-launch, they'll be the first people that will receive products. And also, I mean, really, this period of time is definitely going to be more about prospective business builders or people who see an opportunity now or even in 12 months' time.
No, definitely. And that was going to be leading on to my other question would be, in your eyes, how are we going to keep people motivated if potentially, we're not going to see these products launch for another 6 months? I mean, myself, Ryan, Harry, and everyone have seen your journey, so we're kind of self-motivated that way. But, somebody who we've talked about the two over the last couple of weeks, rather than bombarding them with loads of information constantly over the next 6 months, that doesn't really sort of register with them properly.
Yeah.
How would you say is to keep those types of people motivated?
Yeah, I was actually going to bring that up on the call, actually, because that's a fantastic question. And it is very unique in that sense that this is the first time that they've done a pre-launch, and it means that it is going to be harder to really maintain that excitement. But the main ways to do that is firstly making sure that they're in the Cleanse with Friends page, because that creates that energy, creates that realism. They're seeing all of these amazing transformations. But really for the people that are interested in the opportunity, it really is those opportunity calls. Because that's where the culture is created. That's where they're hearing different stories. There's going to be multiple different speakers that come on board and share different things. So that really is the key to engagement and, keeping people excited about it and learning more each week, especially because you're not going to get products and you're not going to get paid until it launches. So that would be the real key in it. But it's really important for you guys to understand that don't get deterred by the fact that there are people that start off that are excited and then they kind of go quiet. Like, that is just part and parcel of this business as well. It's not just because it's pre-launch. That's human nature. Like, Allan, I'm sure you can share how many people you've had that have been super excited and say, yep, I really want this. And then all of a sudden, a week later, they've just gone quiet. Like, I would actually love to hear your side of that as well.
Yeah. Look, as far as strategies go, I think you do still want some as well. And it's just like people will use it for 30 days anyway and just disappear. I think you nailed it, PJ, in the sense that right now it's all about the people that are going to be in for the business. Someone just logged in on my device. No, that's all good. It was Larry. I would personally, what I think will work quite effectively is actually also running some little in-house competitions will work really, really effectively. So when it actually launches, having some sort of decent competition for their first 30 days, that kind of stuff as well. So there's some little strategies around that. I did hear a rumor yesterday, and it is completely rumor, that the products and everything may be up sooner than most people expect. So yeah, that might help there. I think they've realised as well there's an urgency there. So my rumour said that it'll be the end of April that they launch. But again, like I said, it's just rumour. But obviously they're good rumours. I think what they've realised is that you guys, what you just questioned just then is what's happening to a lot of people now, because they've gone into this pre-enrollment phase and all of a sudden they've got all these people in there, and what they're scared of is that, there'll be 10,000 people that are pre-registered and 10% of them only will enroll for the products or whatever it happens to be. So no, it's a good point. It's a really, really good point. We've got to probably sit down and have a little think about the strategies a little more. Fact is, I believe a lot of people that have pre-registered aren't going to actually use the product. I believe that. That's why, if you guys are out there, I would be looking to engage the people that are interested in the business the most, and the people that are really close to you in the sense that are not going to, because it's hard work to go out there and just enroll a whole bunch of product users and hold on to them for 2.5 months. That's a tough gig. So right now I'd be really looking at the people that are close to you and the people that are going to actually pursue this business, or that that person that, let's use us as an example, somebody that if they pursue this business, they're going to absolutely smash it, but right now they may only be interested in the product. Well, they're worth pursuing and keeping in there for the short term. The other thing that I did find out yesterday was that at the Australian celebration, I'm not sure I know there's a couple of people on here that were looking to come down to Brizzy, but at the Australian celebration, they're going to have all of the guys from England. They're going to actually do all the official announcements. So at least by Australian celebration, which is the 9th to 12th of March, they're going to have all the official information on. That's their goal, to know pretty much what the product pack will look like, how much it will look like, what date it's going to officially have its launch on, those kind of things. So while I think as we go along, we're also going to be empowered by information and more certainty as well. Because right now, I think that's the other killer, is that you're talking to someone and it's like, oh, when am I going to get my products? And you're like, oh, well, I'm not sure. Whereas I think it'd be a different conversation when you can turn around to a product user and say, April 24, May 1, whatever it happens to be, you can actually definitively say that as well. I think that'll make a massive difference as well.
Yeah, that's fantastic, because you can manage expectations so well when you have milestones like that. So right now our milestone is celebrations March 9th to 12th, and that's what you can be having this conversation with your people. That we'll have. We're 99% sure that we're going to have our sort of understanding of launch dates, what's going to be happening, and you can sort of work your business around that date and then move it to the launch date from that, from celebrations. So yeah, I think that's the big one. It's just managing expectations from a business perspective, but you definitely want to be looking mainly at your business, but creating that list for your product users, obviously.
The other thing is as well, Bruce, if you don't mind me jumping in, is that what I actually look like is this pre-enrollment to me is actually more about it becoming either one of two things: either engaging people that are interested in the business, and therefore all they're interested in is filling out their tree as quickly as they can now, so it could go even faster when it officially launches. And then secondary is having those hot prospects in there. So let's say, for an example, you get somebody that drops out of your tree. I don't think it's a negative thing. Let's say somebody says, you know what, I want to order the products launch, and then they're like, oh, look, financially, I don't think I can get started yet. And then they join 3 months later. Well, you know what? It's not going to be a bad thing, because you're going to get the product introduction bonus. You'll probably get some other bonuses out of it that they launch then as well. So the fact that you're not getting as many bonuses on the official launch date, but they will release them over the coming months, I think, if product users decide not to join, at least you know that they're a hot product user that will probably come back in. And there'll be ways that we'll be able to sort of word things and train things to talk to those people as well, to make sure that they order, create that fear of missing out. So if someone's in your business, I think more than anything, they're probably going to end up ordering and trying the products because they're going to be too scared. Well, one, it's like, I'm going to be the first in the UK, and you have a look at things like the iPhones and all these kind of things. What people they just want to be the first. They just want to be able to say, hey, I tried it, I used it. And then the second thing is that creating that fear of missing out. is going to be massive as well. So, yeah.
And the other thing as well, for you guys to remember, and that's why you keep, coming on the call and that sort of stuff, because you guys are in it for the long term, is that it hasn't even started yet. This is really just like a warm-up round for you guys where you really get to learn, everything. You get to go through all the podcasts. You get to start having all your conversations and redeveloping relationships before it even starts. So it's really, that's what the way I would be looking at this is how many conversations can I have? How many people can I reconnect with? And whether or not you pre-register a lot of people, or if you do pre-register a lot of people and some of them go quiet, it's not the end of the world. Like, it's just really the beginning of your journey. So just keep that in mind as well. Don't be disheartened by any of that. Just think of this as your warm-up rounds. And then come April or May, that's when the journey really begins.
Anyone else got any other questions at all?
Yeah, mate. Right. Just can you give us a quick rundown of the procedure for the enrollment? So we enroll someone. Imagine the product's now live. Can you just give me a bit of an overview of that concept, how that works, and the transition from them being enrolled to actually ordering the product, how that takes place?
In the pre-enrollment stage or after?
No. So once the product's here, how do they order the cleanse? How does that work?
Far away.
I believe. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, I believe as well, Ryan, that what they're going to have to do as a protection mechanism, because obviously there's people that are being pre-enrolled, that if you guys, and this is great actually knowledge for you guys to know as well, is that they're going to actually have to accept on terms and conditions. So my understanding originally was that, to answer that first question, my understanding originally was that they actually were going to receive free membership, but maybe not. I don't know if that's still going to be the case, because then I have as well heard more recently that they're still going to pay the membership fee. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if they're going to change that or whether I'm not sure. We'll see. We're going to find out more information when they release the prices and that kind of stuff. However, one of the two things they're going to have to do, one is they're going to have to actually then accept their position.
Yeah.
And then it is as simple as them logging into their own back office under the username and ID that they've created or you've created for them. And they'll just go straight in there and they'll place an order. My understanding is they'll be able to place the order set to go for the date in advance. So let's say, for an example, it's launching April 24, then they'll be able to go in any time between when they set it live. They'll have like a live date that they'll load the products in, and then April 24. So there'll be like this lead-in period where they can go in, place their order, have it all set, that kind of stuff as well, so that when it goes live, that order will just automatically go through. Now, if they don't do that, then obviously they're going to have to go in at any given time from when it goes live to actually order their products.
Yes, they go in their own back office, do it all themselves from the comfort of their own home, essentially.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yep.
Distribution should be anywhere. I think it's 3 to 4 days anywhere in the UK as well. So it's going to be quite
Is the
smooth.
product being held? Is it being distributed? Is it going to be stored over here in a warehouse and distributed via the UK, or is it going to come from us, or how's it work?
Netherlands.
Netherlands. Oh, okay. Is that where it's manufactured? Okay.
Yeah, it's all the whole warehouse out of the Netherlands. Apparently, they say that, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, they say that the distribution centres in the Netherlands are second to none when it comes to Europe. So apparently, they're anticipating it's going to be fairly fast delivery as well.
Just all these questions were kind of getting raised, and it's important not to misinform. We've got our integrity further down the line.
You guys will be fantastic. GM on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well is, is if you don't know an answer to something, just say that you're not 100% sure yet.
Yeah.
Less is more. But I was just thinking then as well, you might have noticed in the leadership pack, and Allan, you might be able to clarify if they're going to have this straight away, is the ISA Derby. I did see that there was a potential that they would do ISA Derby for Vegas celebrations. So I could be wrong, but if I'm not, what that'll mean is, let's say it launches at the end of April, they might do an event a month later, and then they'll launch the ISA Derby, which is basically a business competition. You've probably seen us post about it in our other groups. And it's like it'd probably be 8 to 12 weeks over there. And it'll all be based on enrollments, retention, and rank advancements. And so you get together in a team of like 6 to 8 business centers, and the team in the top 10 or top 5 or whatever they do will then get a 5-star all expenses paid trip to Vegas and to celebrations. And you guys probably saw our photos in August last year, which was pretty amazing. So that's definitely an awesome little incentive for you guys. Like, the fact that you're doing all of this work now is going to set you guys up massively for stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I mean that's for Allan and Pete and I, Jackson. That's how we've built our businesses, is via these ISA derbies. They're just a fantastic platform. Obviously, there's wells and whistles with with the actual prize and going to Vegas. It's just an unbelievable experience. But the real reward with that is simply building your business very quickly, because you get to work, you have lots of support. There's a great culture of the team working together. And you can move mountains in that 8 to 12 weeks, and that's how all of us have had quite a lot of success, is just simply via competing in them and winning them.
Yeah,
All
you
right,
guys have dominated that.
John and Sally, I know you're thinking, what's going on? Any questions? Are you guys right?
I thought of a question from what Jackson was saying, because he's built his up so much. Once you've exhausted your friends and your family, who do you then contact to try and get them into isogenics?
That's an absolutely brilliant question. I'm sure all three, Allan and Pete, would like to add to this. At the very beginning, that's who that's who I thought I needed to speak to, was my friends or family or anyone in my close circle, because that's naturally who would share with anywhere, right? But with this, you find very quickly that it's actually more your acquaintances, people you might have met at a friend's wedding, or people you've got on your Facebook who you're not extremely close with. They're the people who will be reaching out to you, more so than anyone super close to you. And as you build along, and Jackson's the master of this, no doubt, he's always connecting with people. So when he's at the supermarket, when he's on holidays, when he's basketball, when he's at the gym, he's just generally connecting with people. So this isn't something that you become great at as soon as you start this. It takes time. And so Jackson now, 3.5 years into this business, he is a master connector. He'll walk into the gym and do his workout, but he'll also meet 3 people there and have them on Facebook. And so most of the people that are actually coming into his business are generally people he hadn't met a year ago. They're people he hadn't met 2 years ago. They're people he's meeting as he grows this business. And that's really what it's all about, is your business has grown not from who you know now, but from the people you're going to meet and the people who you've enrolled, the people they meet. And that's what makes up the greater mass of a big business.
Okay.
But, Pete or Al, have you got anything you want to add there? Because that's an awesome question. It's something everyone thinks about as soon as they start. Who do I know? What I'm going to do?
I've just posted in the chat there one of the absolute best audio books is GoPro 7 Steps to Becoming a Network Marketing Professional by Eric Worre. So if you haven't listened to that one yet, that really covers that question, exceptionally well. This guy is regarded as probably the best network marketing trainer in the world. And yeah, you're absolutely spot on, because that's what happens is, in the early days, you just start thinking I don't know that many people, and I wasn't even using Facebook, apart from one comment every 3 months on someone's post before I started this. So you don't just go from 0 to 100 on Facebook as well. It takes time to sort of ease your way back into it. But that's what I'd be focusing on now. Facebook is such an incredible way to expand your network really, really quickly. And you'll be so surprised. There'll be so many people that you've forgotten about, but then you're like, oh my God, Sally, holy crap, I remember her from 5 years ago. So the real key is write out like 5 to 10 of the things that you love and the things that you've done in your life. So, sport, work, social groups, kindy, like all these sort of different things where there's like categories. And then you can actually go and find like 2 or 3 people from each of those categories on Facebook. So let's say it's Sally from kindy. Then you can, find her as a friend, and then you can go through all of her mutual friends. You'll be like, oh yeah, I remember her. And you can really quickly expand that way. And then the second way is on Facebook, it's got a find friends button. And this is basically where you can just put in like, where you went to school, and it'll come up with everyone that went to the same school. And then you can add, hundreds of people that way. So as Bruce said, it really is the acquaintances that are predominantly the people that will enroll. I don't know why, but that's just the way it is. So your close friends and family, obviously you're going to share it with them because you love them and it's exciting. But the fact is that not all of them will do it, or most of them probably won't. But it's the people that are acquaintances or the people that you're going to meet and come across that will. But, if you look at Allan's business, for example, I can definitely say that probably his network, like when he first started, is maybe 2 to 5% of his actual business, if that. And that's one, because it's acquaintances, but 2, it's because how the compensation plan works. It's not about your own network. Like it expands exponentially over time by the people that are introduced to your business. So you just kind of develop that over time, and just always be open to trying to get people on Facebook when you meet them. That's really the main goal. Keep it really simple. You just say, hey, it's awesome chatting with you. Let's connect on Facebook. Just keep it simple like that. And then you can, catch up with them for coffee and all that sort of stuff. But that's one big thing that I see for you guys with this pre-launch, is that it gives you 3 to 4 months of expanding your network, and really focusing on that and reconnecting with people. And then, when the product's launched, you can go back to everyone.
And that's a really good point that PJ just made about the Facebook connecting. That's all I do in terms of my style of networking wherever I am. I just continually get people on Facebook and start building a relationship with them. And a great example is there's an Uber driver would have been at least 6 months ago. And I came back from an event and had a good chat to him. I think Pete was half passed out in the back seat, weren't you, buddy? And lovely guy, had a great chat to him. He didn't actually have Facebook, so I got his phone number and said, hey, mate, we'll just connect if you want to have a beer or coffee at some point. And I didn't hear anything back. And then literally 4 months later, he's texted me out of the blue and said, mate, what you were talking about that night, been thinking about it, and there's circumstances changed. Can we meet up? I wasn't in Brisbane, but Pete was. So Pete was able to go and meet him and actually having a chat to him now. So it's all timing for people. And so you might bring this to someone as an opportunity. They might, no, it's not for me, mate. But good luck with everything. You just stay in contact, because they will watch Journey. Everyone's curious. Everyone's interested. So it could be 2 months later. And like Pete said, pre-enrollment's perfect, because if you're building your network now, they'll start watching you and what's happening. They'll notice these small things changing, and then the launch will happen in the UK. It'll be quite a large affair. And that curiosity will get to the point they go, okay, what's going on? Because they'll start seeing all these fantastic health results as well as business results. So it is a long-term game, but it's important to be consistent with the networking, because then it will pay back consistently in the future for you.
I'll add in there as well for you guys as far as where to look for people. I think, as PJ said, you got a couple of months. So obviously the reconnections for us, that was one of the most powerful initially, was the reconnections, like the people that we went to school with. Some of these people that we enrolled, some of our best builders, I hadn't seen for 15, 20 years, but I just reconnected with them. And I didn't reconnect with them just purely for isogenics. I just reconnected. But of course, they then asked the questions, and then one thing led to another as we're conversing. The other thing I would be looking at doing for you guys, given the opportunity that is about to launch into the UK, well, the opportunity that's there now, really, because you can pre-enroll, is that one of the most powerful places that you can go to get people into a business is personal development courses. I'm not sure if any of you guys already attend personal development courses, don't, whatever. But like your Tony Robbins, T. Harv Ekers, I don't know who else you've got over in the UK. I know there's heaps of them. And the reason being that that's where a couple of our other massive builders have come from, is that they're all there looking to grow, looking for opportunities, looking to network. So whenever you go to any of these personal development courses, quite often the people that are speaking edify network marketing, even say on stage, if you're not in a network marketing company, well and truly worth looking for one. So those kind of opportunities are fantastic, especially in the pre-launch, and you can just get in there into a event like that and people asking, hey, what do you do? Well, I work full time. However, I'm about to launch into this brand new company that's just coming into the UK, blah, blah, blah. And next thing you know, you've got some people that are really interested. You also find that a lot of current network marketers go to those events as well from other companies. So you'll connect up with people from other companies. They may not have had the success that they wanted in that company. They may not be aligning perfectly to that company, but they're in it because they get network marketing. So all of a sudden they're really open to the opportunity of Isogenics as well.
Yep. If I was in London right now or the UK, that's exactly what I'd be doing. I'd be getting my calendar out and going this weekend here, that weekend there, without a doubt. The perfect people, very, very, very good at this business.
And the other thing as well is that if I was starting again, knowing what I know now, my goal would just be simply to reconnect with as many people as possible through Facebook. So adding them and connecting with them. And one of the main reasons, obviously the power is in the connection, but also when you're actually speaking to people through Facebook Messenger, that actually then sort of puts you in their feed on Facebook through the algorithms. So whether you talk about Isogenics or not, that doesn't really matter in terms of that side of things. But it means that as you slowly start to post more on Facebook, you might put some curiosity posts up before it launches. And then all of a sudden you've spoken to 500 people. That's going to be 500 people that will see your post rather than 50, if that makes sense. So it really just, that's what I'd be focusing on. I have my blinkers on, is adding new people and connecting with new people and slowly starting to incorporate your Facebook branding. If you do those three things before it launches, whether or not you have a lot of people that pre-register, you're going to have so many people that will enroll when it does launch. And a really good example of that is actually one of Bruce's friends from the Barossa. He, from day one, he was in business. And so he didn't want to really share any before and afters or anything like that until he'd had his own results. And so we just said, okay, so you've got 30 days to connect with as many people as possible for that very reason that I just explained. And he would have connected with at least a couple of hundred. And then he posted his before and afters at the end of the 30 days. And he had something like 150 comments, he had 350 likes, and he had probably about 40 or 50 people message him directly. And that would not have happened unless he connected with that many people. Because most people like myself, you're not using Facebook really that much, apart from just, wanting to spy on what people are doing. So it's just, when you take that proactive approach, it's going to pay off in the long run for sure.
Happy day, guys. Any other questions out there?
I think you guys will probably generate some new questions after tomorrow morning's Zoom with the GM as well. Point. Hopefully, we'll if we can press him a little bit to see what extra information we can get out of him. Well, we'll definitely do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you could send that through as soon as possible, because most of us will not be able to jump on that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, yeah, it'll be midnight below, I think, over there. part time. I'm also going to post. I've got that call, Harry. I'll send you the links to the other call yesterday.
Yeah.
A couple other people have been asking me as well, so I'll get that all sorted out. I was just waiting to receive it, and I'll upload it, and we'll get that across, guys. Any other questions, just shoot them in a message. But thank you so much, team, and we'll see you all soon. Looking forward to this.
Thanks,
call.
Allan.
Cheers.
Cheers.
See you guys.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Have an awesome night.
Cheers,
See you
guys. Bye.
Sleep tight.
See you guys.